So
We're just taking a look at AJR's catalog on Spotify. And we were just really inspired. We wanted to sit down and talk about it with you guys today. Just kidding.
we got you. As you guys can see, we are in the filming location of I Feel Fantastic. Shout out to what's her name again? I should have looked it up before we started rolling.
That guy, I have no idea, man. That's your field.
It's been a while since we've done one of
yeah.
these. We do have more coming up. We promise. Just been a busy few months for us.
Really has, and it's very exciting though. But
Yeah, it really has been an exciting few months. I'm John,
And I am Hunter.
and we make stuff together. Let's show off really quickly too what we're drinking. I made Hunter this morning a French press in a really nice mug that I kind of forgot where I got it from. I think somebody got it for me, and I just got a regular drip, or I made myself a regular drip with this girl can mug. Shout out Sydney. She got me this 5 years ago, and I still drink from it. It's one of my favorite mugs.
Shout out Sydney.
Who's working for a graphic design company in Industry City right now. And I'm blanking.
Industry City? That's a freaking Mario level. That's not a real place.
It's a neighborhood in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you live in Industry City, respond to the poll in the comments. Are you real or are you in a Mario level? Let me know.
If you've been following us on tapes, you've been seeing that we've been posting some stuff. We got some really fun stuff coming up. If you're following us on Instagram, you're seeing some sneak peeks of that. So definitely check the Instagram at After 10 Productions to see some live updates on the effects work that we're working on right now with our friend Kate.
Certainly. We have, oh my goodness, so much exciting stuff happening. Let's talk about tapes a little bit, because we haven't really posted a lot of anything recently, but we're getting back in the swing of things, and that's because we've been doing so much extensive work behind the scenes the past few months. We've talked about it on this podcast before, that tapes was kind of a thing where we were like, we haven't made anything in so long. Let's just lock in these next couple weeks and just post something. And then that first episode of State Sale was what came of that. Mm-hmm. And then from there, the plan was like, okay, we call it Tapes I Found at the Thrift Store. That leaves the door open for any sort of like analog horror anthology kind of thing. Maybe the person who owns the account is part of this overarching story as well. And we had some fun those first few months, maybe a little bit too much fun. Maybe we wrote ourselves into a corner a little bit. But it became something totally different, where now it's just a whole ARG kind of centered around the person who's running the account. And took us a while to kind of get our footing a little bit. But I feel like, personally for me, I feel like this, I was really stressed out about this series for a while because I just didn't know where to take it, like earlier this year. But I feel like now that we're finally getting our footing, I'm really grateful for it, because I feel like I'm learning a lot about, not just filming, but writing, storytelling, about every aspect that goes into making something like this. I feel like I'm just becoming better at it by forcing myself, by writing myself into that corner. I'm learning a lot, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, we mentioned that we were busy. A big part of what we've been busy with is working on other people's personal projects and stuff. And, whenever we work on other people's projects, you kind of learn a bit from that. So Kate, our VFX person, or makeup effects person, working on her film, I learned a lot from that. As I'm sure she's learned a lot working with us in some way too. And yeah, I think that what Hunter was saying back in October of Estate Sale, we were in this position of like, okay, we know what we want this specific tape, as we call them, what we want this tape to look like. And then we had like a very loose idea of like, okay, then we could have this tape, and then this tape could be a little funny, this tape could be a little more scary. But I think the issue was not road mapping. And if you've ever seen the Star Wars sequel trilogy, you know how that's a huge issue of when you don't road map stuff.
Part of the pressure that I was feeling earlier this year was that, like, take your Midwest Angelicas, for instance. You know, there's no time crunch built into the story for him. He can take a year, 2 years editing a video and then throw it up, and it has no effect on the overarching story. Somebody who's never seen Midwest Angelica, their friend could show it to them when the whole thing is out, and it'll have no effect on them if they watch from the beginning to the end. Or, like, even if somebody has been with Midwest Angelica from the beginning, there's no real effect on the story if they have to wait 2 years between an episode. But with something like what we have, where Ben, the protagonist, just locking in and realizing, like, somebody who doesn't watch the stuff that we make is going to have no context for what's going on here, but it's fine.
Well, if they're watching it, they most likely watch
That's true.
Stuff, though.
That's also what I'm, yeah.
And it also gives you an excuse to go watch it so you understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, and you can come back and enjoy this.
Yeah.
But I digress, as Chris Chan might say. What the fuck was I even talking about?
The next tape that we're filming in, God, over a month now, which is crazy to think. I think that could be one that anybody could watch and get something out of.
Yeah, certainly. I think that was because we had the idea for that one for so long, and we've been so in love with the idea. We still are so in love with the idea that we're like, this is going to be the main focus of the whole channel for a while, pretty much. And we're very excited, very confident in what that one's going to be.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, and also, too, it's probably the biggest crew we've had so far for one of these tapes.
Yeah, we're locking in with this one.
Yeah.
But
I feel like also, I don't know how you feel, I'm so happy that we're, like, really utilizing the Pine Barrens for this next tape. Because Hunter and I have both lived in the Pine Barrens our entire life, pretty much. Well, actually, not... When did you move to the Pine Barrens? Like, when you were...
No, I've been in the Pine Barrens, I think. I mean, yeah. No, yeah. I was when I was first born, I was, like, right in the heart of it.
Okay.
I was, like, way out in the woods. Like, it was, like, 45 minutes to get anywhere, like what Ben says in the first episode. But
yeah, I mean, I guess technically then I'm a transplant because I lived a few years in North Jersey and then came down here when I was like 2 or 3, I think. But no, yeah, like obviously we have a deep connection to the Pine Barrens and stuff, and I'm happy that the next thing we're filming really utilizes not just one particular location of the Pine Barrens, but just like a lot of very distinct locations of it.
Absolutely.
So I'll say that.
And some of the creatures within it.
Yeah.
And some of the folklore within it as well. So, but it's what I'm very excited to start tapping into as well, because that was a lot of the setup with Ben and Alawite Creek was tapping into that New Jersey Pine Barrens folklore and kind of making it our own in a little way.
Yeah.
Which just can't wait to get all that stuff out there on the internet for everybody to start digging into. That's another thing that I've been learning a lot about and struggling with and overcoming is like the ARG, the mystery, the puzzle aspects of things. I feel like I'm not a great puzzle maker. Even like the mystery aspects of writing, where it's like, I have, I like, here's the story and here's my character who exists outside of it. How does he figure out what this story is? It's hard to sit down and be like, how am I going to spoon feed him this in a way where when he relays it to the audience that it's interesting and that it feels like it's when we naturally arrived at the conclusion of the story by the end of it.
Here's an interesting thing to bring up. I mentioned earlier the sequel trilogy of Star Wars.
Shout out. Fucking J.J. Abrams.
I was just going to say J.J. Abrams because J.J. Abrams, I think we're past this now, but his big thing was the whole mystery box. Not even just with Star Wars, but like in his other movies, it's like, oh, if I plant the mystery box, right? and then you come back to it by the end, but he never, came up with the answers of like what the mystery boxes were. So that's kind of caused a lot of issues for his movies. Do you think a lot of analog horror ARG things function that way, or do you think, like, I'm not saying give me like an exact percentage, but do you find that the ones that you really like and the ones that you follow, when you're reading them, following them, do you feel like the creator really mapped it out, or do you feel like, oh, the first few episodes go by, there's this mystery, and like, oh, things are just kind of happening, and you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And I would say, we're not going to name names in either corner of this fight, but we're going to say the ones that I really like, I get that exact impression where it feels like the person who made it knew exactly what it was going to be from the beginning, and they really take their time executing the ideas that they have. Whereas the ones that I don't like, it feels like the creator has a premise, or they're like, here's my creature, here's my world. And then every episode feels like, here's the creature. And then the next episode is, here's the creature in a different place. And then the third episode is, here's why that place was important. And then it's like they're figuring it out as they're going along, where it's like, I'm just throwing shit at the wall, and then they're picking the shit up and being like, see this? I threw that over there a long time ago, and I meant to do that. And it's like, well, no, you didn't. But that, I can't even really, sorry, we have an ambiance video on the TV.
Yeah, this is
It's the person hiking, and oh my goodness, somebody just passed them on the trail with a dog without a leash.
That poor dog. It's like raining and everything.
Yeah,
too.
no,
The poor dog is wet. Yeah. It's a nice trail though.
But yeah, like I was saying, I can't really. So I'm trying to build my vocab a little bit, and I almost pulled out the word chastise, because I've heard it. That's part of learning to grow my vocab, is like I hear words used and I try to pick them out of that tree in my brain and I throw them, but it's like I like to know the exact definition, even if I know the context that they're used in. But we'll say I don't want to chastise these people, because we kind of did that. We were throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what was working.
It's the Voldemort thing I mentioned. Yeah.
But now we're taking our time, where we're hitting the brakes a little bit. We're in cruise control, and we're mapping stuff out. But there are definitely people out there on YouTube in the space who just throw stuff at the wall, and they keep throwing it.
It's not inherently bad. Like I want to point that out too. It's like, it's not an inherently bad thing to just throw out an idea, and then like come back to it once. Because for me, I have an issue with writing endings first, and I know that's always. Depending on what kind of piece of fiction you're making, that's always the recommended thing of start with the ending first. And I have a bad habit of not being able to write endings. If you've seen any of my films, you know that. Hunter and I have been making silly, dumb videos for quite some time now. And the process of making those is much different than tapes. So learning the process, especially for Hunter, who's crafting lore and everything, takes a lot of time to figure out like what works. So I don't have any regrets personally. I know that you said earlier you felt like you wrote yourself into a corner. I honestly have no regrets with the stuff we've made, because I'm happy with the stuff we've made so far.
Yeah, I definitely have days where I sit down to write in the morning, and like nothing is hitting the page, and like I'll get a sentence down and I'll be like, that sucks. Start over, and I just feel like I'm getting nowhere. I feel like I'm never gonna get anywhere, and I'm like, God, I just really fucked up with this thing. And then I'll log onto the account just to watch the videos and be like, is there something I'm missing? And there's all these awesome comments being like, anxiously awaiting the next video, really loving what you guys are doing, all this awesome, really cool stuff. And it really just, it lights that fire all over again, where like it's nice to know that people are, enjoying it at least.
Yeah.
Because even if there are days where I'm like, because, it's not a permanent thing where I'm always like, God, this sucks. But there are days where, I'm a little down in the dumps and I'm like, God, I really wish I did this different. But, everybody has those days where it's like, when I have those days and I log on, it's nice to know that people are still enjoying it for what it is, and it's also nice to know that we've got really really cool stuff on the way as well. Very very cool stuff. Sometimes I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, we should start a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
5. Yeah. This was a very impromptu recording. We met up this morning to do a really quick tapes rundown.
Yeah.
And then we were like, let's do a podcast episode because we finished early.
Yes, we were thinking about doing this week or this month. We were gonna rank all the A24 horror movies, but then we realized we didn't have time for that, and also, I kind of don't want to watch a lot of them, so I don't know if we're gonna be doing that.
We might do a little YouTuber indie horror thing. We might watch Well, he's already seen Obsession. I might watch Obsession.
Mm-hmm.
Might go see Backrooms and let you guys know what we thought of those.
Yeah. Oh, I did watch a horror movie recently, and then we ended on this note, kind of a depressing note. I watched Mandalorian and Grogu recently.
Tell us about it.
I don't care about Star Wars. My sister wanted to see it, because she likes Grogu, and we both liked it. Like, okay, let me emphasize. I gave it 2 bags of popcorn, because it's like competently shot. Even though the cinematography is kind of ugly at times, you can't see anything on screen. It's competent, like all the technical elements are there pretty much. I couldn't get over the fact that it's so obvious that it was meant to be like 3 episodes of the show or like 4 episodes of the show, and they just fucking put it into a movie, because you literally were watching the movie and you're like, okay, so like that's the end of the episode. Like 40 minutes go by, and it literally felt like, oh, like that's the end. Like, where is it gonna go from there? It never felt, and I'm happy that my sister pointed this out, because I didn't want to because she gets upset when I be too critical of things that she likes, whatever. I'm happy that on the ride home she was like, I feel like the movie just had no point. It just felt like things were just kind of happening, and I was like, yes. Literally the movie starts for 40 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, what the hell is gonna happen now? And then a new thing just started, and then that was done, and then a new thing started, and I'm like. So, I had, a deeply existential feeling where I was like, this is terrible. Kids need good stuff. We grew up with the prequels. The prequels were fucking terrible. But we had the original trilogy. We had, we had fun, exciting things. What the hell do kids have now? This is disgusting. They're going and they're watching this fucking thing that's not even meant to be a movie. Yeah. It's harmless fun. I'm sure kids will get a kick out of Grogu making funny noises and shit. But I was just I was just mad at a lot of points just thinking about that.
Yeah, it definitely sucks that kids can't watch the original trilogy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney Plus locked them out.
Yep.
They're only allowed to watch Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay, and the amount of Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise out there is crazy. I was in the American Dream Mall a few weeks ago, and I was in the Toys R Us. There's a whole freaking Five Nights at Freddy's section.
Yeah.
In the baby area.
It's crazy.
Where it's Five Nights at Freddy's is this generation's. What the hell were we watching? Invader Zim? It's something I don't know.
Nah, Invader Zim was too niche though.
It was
it's this generation's.
What were we tapping into?
Goosebumps, maybe.
Yeah, it's their Goosebumps. Even Goosebumps wasn't that widely crazy. There wasn't a Goosebumps section in the Toys R Us.
True. Yeah, no, the merchandising of it wasn't there, but yeah, definitely got kids into reading at least, But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I will say though, to give one positive about Amanda Laurie and Goo Goo Gaga, there was one scene that made me emotional when an hour and a half into the movie they decided to have a theme, and the Jabba the Hutts, the family relatives, told Mandalorian you can't live forever, that child you're with is gonna outlive you by hundreds of years. There's no point in taking care of it. You're gonna die soon. And then he gets poisoned the next scene, and he tells Grogu to leave, because Grogu can get killed by whatever the droids that are coming. So he's as he's poisoned, he's still shooting the droids, and then he just falls. I truly thought he was gonna die, and he just falls, and then Grogu like comes and saves the day, heals him, and then it follows Grogu for like several days just taking care of Mando, and it's like
Last of Us.
it was like very Last of Us, but also it's very Studio Ghibli-ish, where it was just like this like really beautiful scenery of like Grogu just like hiding him in like the woods and everything and befriending like the little like woodland creatures and stuff, and there was like no dialogue. I'm like, I want that. I want more of that kind of stuff, and not Mandalorian shooting people with his flamethrower. Like I kind of like wanted more of that.
Okay, dude, how the fuck could you actually say that? Because that's the best part of the whole thing.
I did notice actually the opening scene was super violent because it's him just like literally there's no tension at all with Mandalorian now because he's just fucking invincible. He just walks into this room and just fucking like just tortures a bunch of people and everything. And I literally saw like a mom like grab her daughter and leave. It was so violent.
And then an hour and 20 minutes later, it's like Baby Yoda in the woods with the little creatures.
I think my mom actually turned to me. She was like, "What is this movie rated?" Because it was so violent. It was like mostly kids around us. Yeah.
All right. The Nanny and Baba. 5 bags for me because I haven't seen it yet, but I think
based on that description, I'm gonna give it 5 bags.
Yeah.
It is better than Rogue One. It is better than Solo, and I know it's not saying much, but
Okay, dude. Do you remember the funny robot from Rogue One?
I do remember that. Dude, Martin Scorsese's in Mandalorian and Grogu. Do you know that?
What does he play?
He plays like a little alien
Shit
guy.
Flocko, or?
Yes, he literally plays a random alien with 4 arms. It's like a monkey, and it has his eyebrows. It has like Martin Scorsese eyebrows. It's kind of awesome.
Oh, thank God. That's exactly what I was looking for in that movie. So, if you guys haven't noticed, there is a blue pumpkin on the mug.
Mm-hmm. Blue waffle.
That was our Five Nights at Freddy's. Was Blue Waffle.
Yeah,
That's what we were tapped into in elementary school, middle school, was Blue Waffle. Let us know in the comments if we should do a Blue Waffle themed tape for Tapes I Found at the Thrift Store. Yes, we want to tap into that nostalgia. We're tapping into nostalgia with one of the next tapes that's coming up, the big one that we've been working on. What was another thing that we had going on?
We had Jimmy Neutron. That was kind of disturbing.
Yeah. Fairly Odd Parents.
I hate the fucking Fairly Odd Parents. Like, I know that people have nostalgia for it, but I go back and watch it, and there's just like this smarminess about the show that it pisses me off, and I hate the animation style of it. I think it's so ugly.
Yeah.
I hate that show.
I put it on the same level as Johnny Test in my
Yes.
mind. Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, well, once Poof was entered the scene, then that's when it got bad, whatever. I'm like, it's because you fucking got older. That's why. Like, it was always cringe and bad. Like, okay, like there were some episodes that were kind of funny here and there, but it was, it is like Johnny Test quality, I think.
And it just looks so ugly.
Yeah.
Which is also part of it.
I also just hate like Scott Fellows. I hate that every shit he makes. Wait, oh my God, Scott Fellows also made Johnny Test. It makes so much sense. I hate that Scott Fellows crap like Johnny Test, Tough Puppy, Fairly Odd Parents, Big Time Rush. I'll give an exception to Ned's Declassified. It's the only good thing he's ever made. I hate that all the shit he does, there's just constant. It's like that's probably why all of us have ADHD is because there's so many sound effects. There's just fucking sound effects every single time. I literally had a friend who like loves Big Time Rush, and she's like, "Oh, I love it. It's like one of my favorite shows, whatever." And I'm like, I was like, do the sound effects not piss you off? She's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "There's a sound effect every 2 seconds." Like 2 days go by, she texts me. She goes like, "John, ever since you pointed that out, I can't watch the show now. It's so unbearable." I'm like, yeah, it's so bad.
The pacing of Big Time Rush is like they're literally stop the scene every 2 seconds to do the sound effect.
It's actually like people complain about the Dan Schneider shows with the laugh track. I'd rather have the laugh track than that. Like I find that so unbearable, the sound effects.
Speaking of Dan Schneider, editor might want to draw attention to this in the edit, but you might have seen my eyes light up when I had a revelation when I remembered the night that we watched our last Lifetime movie we remembered a really important thing from our childhoods, which was a very special episode of Drake and Josh called The Theater Thug. And me and John were talking about how this was the funniest episode of Drake and Josh. And then later that night, you know, I was feeling quizzical. I went online. I was researching the episode. People say it's the worst episode of Drake and Josh.
It's crazy.
People think it's the worst episode. So I was like, me and John are so tapped in. Mm-hmm. That's why we need a podcast. So look out for the Theater Thug episode. We're going to do a deep dive on the Theater Thug episode of Drake and Josh. And we're going to explain why it is the best episode and not the worst episode.
Yeah. I think the worst episode of Drake and Josh, maybe I don't know if you'll agree or if you remember it all, but the episode where they're babysitting the baby and Megan is just pissing, like, fucking with them. Because it's so mean-spirited. Like, it reminds me of, like, the average iCarly episode where everything is just so mean-spirited and awful, where it's, like, Megan is just making this baby cry and, like, tormenting this baby to torment Drake and Josh. And, like, that's, like, a first season episode, too. And I'm like, this is just so unpleasant. It's, like, I can't imagine... I mean, I was a kid when I watched it. Even I was, like, pissed off. I can't imagine, like, kids watching that, like, thinking that's funny. It's not funny at all.
But there's a fine line between that and Theater Thug, though.
Theater Thug is fucking hilarious. It's so good.
That was a lot of the consensus I saw online was that people were like, this is so mean-spirited. But the thing is, it's mean-spirited to a comical degree where it makes no fucking sense. And that's why it's so funny. Whereas that one is like, it's just Megan being mean to the baby.
Yeah.
And it's like... Dude, I've been rewatching iCarly every now and then with Brittany at late. It's so
bad.
It's so bad.
Fucking bad.
Yeah, you can literally feel the energy in the room just like sunk when we thought about iCarly.
Victorious is way better than iCarly.
That pie episode,
dude. Fuck Quinn. Oh my god, don't bring up that pie episode. My dad was mad about that. You know why? Because we're big Abbott and Costello heads in our family. And the whole thing about, it was in his computer and it's physically in his computer, that's an Abbott and Costello reference because I think it's Hold That Ghost. They're at this, like, rich person's house, like, that died and everything, and they're like, he left the money in his head. And then Lou knocks over, like, the deer head on the wall and all the money falls out. And it's like, reference. So, like, obviously Dan Schneider likes Abbott and Costello, so he wrote that. And I remember my dad was like, they're putting in these kids' shows and they don't understand the references, where they come from. It's like fucking TikTok gatekeepers when, like, Chapel Rowan got big. It's kind of like that, but with Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, I remember my dad didn't like Victorious because the girls weren't actually singing.
It's like, what? The things that your parents, like, get annoyed by is so fucking funny.
Yeah, guys. Sorry we've been absent. We're coming back stronger than ever. Doing lots of push-ups.
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
We've been listening to Daft Punk. We've been practicing our horse stance in the morning.
Yeah.
Really strong leg muscles. And our chakras are open. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of cool stuff on the way. I'm sure you've all seen the stories of the Jersey Devil costume.
Yeah.
What could that be for? I don't know. All right. We're going to sign off now. Just wanted to record a quick thing for you guys today and for us because it feels good to sit here and record. And we'll freaking see you guys in the next one. All right, hopefully.